back to POUL'S Kitchen. Now, last night we made some pad thai spaghetti squash. Turned out really good. Everybody loves it so far. We were able to put a little bit of heat into it, had a nice taste and texture to it. It was very popular. Today we're going to make spaghetti squash, but we're making spaghetti. No spice, well, nothing hot anyways. Just regular spaghetti. Before we do, and somebody ran off, so I can't really show you much. But this is my good friend Alicia.
Hi. Wonderful cook.
So this is her first time having spaghetti squash. This is our second. So basically we got some mushrooms, radish, cucumber, the actual spaghetti squash, onion, some canned tomatoes, and some tomato paste, and some spinach, and some spice. So first of all, what we're going to do is I'm not putting any meat in this. This is going to be a vegetarian version. We're going to start browning some onion first. Don't have to eat it too much, right? But we want the onions to start caramelizing a little bit. Gives them a little bit of a taste and texture to it. That's pretty good. Now, spaghetti squash doesn't go in until the very end, after the sauce is done. Of course, the spaghetti squash has already been cooked. If you want to know how to cook it, watch the video I released yesterday. That was done in full detail there. I don't really want to go through a whole video, and I don't think you all want to watch it again anyways. So we're just going to get the onions going here first a little bit. Most people don't like raw onions, so if you're making spaghetti, you don't want raw onions in it because most people won't eat it. Some people will, most won't, but I think everybody will agree a little bit of fried onions will actually taste pretty good. And it's also good for your system too. Very healthy, very good. Now, these aren't exactly the cheap mushrooms you get in a can. These are actual fresh. Not portobello, I can't remember what name they are, but you can get them pretty darn good. You just dump them right in. As they heat up, they'll get a little bit smaller. So, I mean, some things when you're doing this, and it kind of comes off as more of a stir fry, really. But you can never have enough mushrooms, you can never have enough onions. And I'm not joking, guys, because one thing you want to really watch out for, especially when you're cooking and some other things, you want to make sure that you have enough vitamins and nutrients in here, because it makes it better for you. I'm just going to dump some ginger. Now, you don't always have this every day, but I'm just going to dump a bunch of that in here. We're going to take some radish. The one negative thing about cooking the way that we do is my wife usually ends up spending about an hour in the kitchen cleaning dishes. But she don't mind. She doesn't have to cook very often, so you want to make sure that you're mixing things really well. You don't want to have one lump of food in your mouth and it's nothing but onions, right? So you want to make sure you're mixing things. This is the cucumbers, and this will go in last. And you notice the spinach starts melting down a little bit. So I'm going to put some pepper in it. I got a little bit of dill. I'm going to put a little bit of chopped up oregano. It gives it a really nice texture to it. Now if you're making meat in your spaghetti, you definitely want to have that marinating in the meat before you ever throw it in. And my Jamaican sin, nutmeg. Apparently if you were to find an actual nut form of the nutmeg, it's actually legal. You're not allowed to have it. You are allowed this. Really wish I could have that because that would really be amazing. So I'm just going to have one little stir with this. Now this is going to be the fun part. Canned crushed tomatoes. I cannot stress this enough. It's the greatest thing in the world when you're making spaghetti. It's amazing. It's cheap and it works really well. Now when you put the paste in, grab a spoon because this is thick. It's not going to go in well or easy. Now someone's going to ask me, you know, why don't you just use actual tomatoes? Wouldn't that be healthier? Not really. In order for you to keep tomatoes fresh in a grocery store, they have to pump them full of a few things and take a few things out. It's not as good as you think it is. You think that it would be good, you think it would taste right, and it does. But it does cause some issues with it when it's not exactly, when it's missing nutrients, right? You want all the nutrients because it has all the right taste to it. You want to make sure that you're stirring this in really good. Now, if I was making spaghetti sauce for a regular spaghetti, this is what I would want. You know what I mean? It's not just tomato sauce. It's got a lot of veggies in here. I mean, no one's gonna get upset with you if you decide to put a little meat in it. That's not gonna hurt it, unless you're a vegetarian or you're serving a vegetarian. Amy's definitely not a vegetarian. Alicia, are you a vegetarian?
Definitely not.
Not gonna hurt anybody. So, I mean, the sauce doesn't really need a whole lot of time to cook. It's not like you have time to go out, put this on, go for a smoke, and come back. Not like that. It's pretty much done. So now for the spaghetti squash. It's not exactly perfect form, but it'll do for what it needs to be. For the last part, I'm going to use my famous Betty Crocker spoon to finish the rest of it. Now, if I did this and it turned out the way that mine did yesterday, this would actually look a little bit better, but you know what I mean, it's still good. You know, if you suffer from IBS, and I do have some users who do, you want to... Oh!
I do.
And she does. What you want to be doing, and I'm sorry about that, guys. What you want to be doing is put a little bit of lemon, take a lemon, split it in half, and then split it in there. That will help ease a little bit of the issues that you're going to have with the tomato. Somebody with IBS, it's not going to be 100%, but cooking with tomato sauce this way will work a lot better. A whole lot better. But adding the lemon will really make it that much better. So I'm going to move it off the pan there, and oh, it's right out of here.
No, I told you.
My wife likes to tell me things.
Well, I don't want people burning their fingers on those.
Oh.
No?
So, this is my spaghetti squash. Made as actual spaghetti. The noodles are very fine, they're thin, but it's a vegetable, right? So I mean, if you're serving a vegetarian friend and you're making a nice meal, this is an excellent one for them because it's 100% vegetable. There's nothing in here they can't have. So this is my spaghetti squash. Thank you for taking the time to tune in. Like always, like, subscribe, comment, and share me with your buddies because I'm sure there's somebody out there that needs some help. Thanks for watching.